KNDY.
Good morning and welcome to high school baseball action here on KNDY Radio. We are at the home of the K-State Wildcats, Manhattan, Kansas, Taunton Family Stadium as the Marysville Bulldogs get ready for 3A state baseball action here on a Thursday morning. Max Blasky along with you for the ride here as we are scheduled for our 11 o'clock first pitch here from 3A State. Marysville Bulldogs pull off 3 straight wins in regionals last week to get to this position. They are your 8th seed in this 3A tournament. They will be taking on number 1 seed at Trinity Academy with their 20-4 record. We'll get into that here in just a little bit, but it has been a run here for the Bulldogs. They beat the 3 seed Beloit Trojans in their regionals last week 18-11 after coming from behind. Took down Power Nemaha Central 10-5 in semifinal action, and in the finals jumped out to a 6-0 lead over Ellsworth in the first inning and ended up winning that contest 9-4 for this young team under head coach John Hafley. Again, the Wildcats enter this contest 10-13 on the season. They are led by Alex Shale, Grant Hafley, and Bryant Siemens at bat. Today we're going to see Dakota Slupionic on the mound. We'll get into pitching matchups, stats, and lineups here as the morning goes along. But first we're going to take our first time out and hear from the before-mentioned head coach of the Marysville Bulldogs, John Hafley. Had a chance to sit down with him yesterday as he improved this. Talked about this run here at State for the Bulldogs. Big thank you, too, to our Marysville Sports Boosters making this broadcast possible tonight or this afternoon. And, of course, if you're looking for Marysville softball, that is over on our sister station, AM 1570, FM 94.1, as both of these teams have an 11 o'clock first pitch scheduled start time for us here today. Bruce Dierking has that call down from Topeka as the 8-seeded Marysville softball squad looks to make a run at a 3A state title, too, as well. When we come back from our break, we'll chat with head coach John Hafley, and then we'll look at how both these teams got here and a few names we need to keep our eye out as this morning wears on. Again, it is high school baseball time here on KNDY Radio at 95.5.
Update your home today with a new look from Feldkamp's Furniture Mart. See their tremendous selection of living room, dining room, and bedroom sets and furniture, as well as bedding, accent pieces, appliances, and more. Financing options for any budget up to 24 months with no interest, as well as free delivery, making buying local easy. Shop Feldkamp's Furniture and Flooring in Marysville today. How would you like to have a steady job with a schedule that works for you and your family? You're in luck. Tension is hiring operators and adjusters at the Marysville plant. If you like to take things apart and put them back together again, if you enjoy being part of a team, if you're looking for flexible work with competitive pay and benefits, this could be a great match for you. Work for a company you know you can trust. Visit tension.com/careers to learn more and apply.
On the road in any season, Mike's OK Tire is offering up to $60 via reward card or virtual prepaid card after online submission on purchase of 4 or more new BF Goodrich passenger or light truck tires totaling $900 or more. Offer valid through May 30th. Contact Mike's OK Tire for full details and get up to $60 with the purchase of 4 or more new BF Goodrich passenger or light truck tires. BF Goodrich and Mike's OK Tire in Marysville. What are you building for?
Since 1976, Olmsted Real Estate and Auctions has been your farm and home marketing team. Let the experienced family team of Tom and Rob Olmsted and brother-in-law Tom Kirkland guide you when buying or selling a home or farmland. Delivering timely, honest, and professional guidance, visit olmstedrealestate.com to view current listings and auctions. Your farm and home marketing team is Olmsted Real Estate and Auctions.
Sold 300. That's buyer 5-2.
Join now with John Hafley, head coach of the Marysville baseball team, as they get ready for a run at state baseball here in Manhattan, Kansas. John, you had an exceptional run at Sub-State. Can you kind of break down those games for us and just the emotional run that it has been here over the past week and a half?
Well, in our first game against Beloit, we were the 6th seed and they were the 3, and we still thought we had a solid chance of playing with them and maybe earning a victory. We felt that our schedule, which is heavy on 4A quality teams was going to prepare us, and that we were probably a little better than our record showed. We came out and jumped on them early in the first inning, and then, as was often the case this spring, we let them right back in it. Then it was kind of back and forth and chipped away at it, and then had a huge 9-run 7th inning to come from 2 behind to take the lead.
You were a team in regionals, John, that jumped out to early leads, including in the championship game, 6-0 at the end of the first half inning. How has that built the confidence of this team going into these state matchups?
Well, I think it can do nothing but help our confidence. You know, game 2 of regionals played Nemaha Central and didn't have the opportunity to play them this year because of rain out. And we knew who they would be pitching, and we knew that he had just come off of a 105-pitch outing 4 days earlier. So I kind of felt if we could get his pitch count up, maybe we could get him out of there, and then we'd have a little bit more success against their bullpen. And that's kind of what happened. We were down 2-0 on a couple of runs, probably shouldn't have scored, and then put 4 on them, I believe, in the 5th. And then they came back and tied it. Then we put Brian Siemens in, our left-handed pitcher, who shut him down and allowed us to get some insurance runs there late in the game. By the time Ellsworth rolled around, we just kind of looked at ourselves and said, well, why not? And, we really didn't have a lot of pressure on us. Obviously, being the 1 seed contains some pressure because there's expectations. And we just jumped on them early, and fortunately we got great pitching. And we're able to bring Bryant in for the last 4 outs, got the victory.
And for you as a coach, you've seen plenty of baseball, but this team is a younger team, sophomores, juniors. What has stood out to you about their composure in games like in the regional contest and what you hope to see coming up?
I think there's a number of factors. Our young guys, particularly our 4 sophomores that start, have played for me since they were 8. They've literally played hundreds of baseball games, hundreds of tournament games, hundreds of winter go home games, and they're kind of the core of our team. Our freshman has also played a fair amount of high-level baseball, and then the juniors, a couple of them were on our state championship junior legion team, and so they just kind of got used to knowing what it's like to win and what it's like to not give up. And I think that's played a huge role.
Again, joined with Marysville boys baseball head coach John Hafley as they prepare for first-round action of the state tournament in Manhattan.
Max Blasky back with you here at Totten Family Stadium, Manhattan, Kansas, on a beautiful Thursday morning as, yes, the Marysville Bulldogs get ready for a run at a 3A state tournament title as they take on top-seeded Trinity Academy from Wichita. Of course, Marysville, only an hour drive down here. Good showing here behind the first baseline here of the Marysville faithful. If you're heading your own way down here, of course, swing on down. Beautiful day to catch some baseball. If not, glad to have you all along today as we're getting action rocking and rolling here from State Ball. Marysville, as before mentioned, had a heck of a run at their regionals, taking out the top 3 seeds. This is the first time since 2006 that the Marysville Bulldogs have made an appearance in the 3A state tournament. This team is also just 2 years removed from a 1-16 season under three-year head coach John Hafley. The boys have turned it around this year along with assistant coaches Tommy Brenniger and Jayden Haggard, longtime Bulldogs there in the early 2010s, and all league players in their own rights have shot a youthfulness of energy into this Marysville squad and look to continue it on here. They will be challenged by Trinity Academy here, who we'll get into in just a little bit, but rounding out what we need to look at for the Bulldogs today, they are led in the batting average this season by Alex Shield, batting .437, also 25 RBIs. Grant Hafley leads this team with 26 RBIs, and those are going to be the 2 big bats that we're going to keep an eye on here this afternoon, or this early afternoon, morning, as we get rolling. As for the pitching matchup, Head coach John Hafley will go with Dakota Slubionic in this one, an ERA just under 8. He does have 23 strikeouts, though, compared to 11 walks on the year, but it will be Brian Siemens, that comes in out of a relief role. We'll probably see him about the third or fourth inning, depending on how this win or go-home game goes. The Marysville Bulldogs, of course, your 8th seed here in the state tournament. We are the first game this morning. The second game will be 4-5 Burlington versus Frontons. Third game at 3:30, Heston versus Topeka Hayden, and then Sabetha will round it out here this afternoon at 5:45 versus Central Plains. Of course, opposite of our broadcast today, over on our sister station, AM 1570, FM at 94.1. The Marysville softball team in action down at Topeka. Bruce Dierking has that call as the girls get ready for their 11 o'clock first pitch too as well. Teams are getting introduced here along the first base side. Marysville visiting teams in their home road black jerseys, red Marysville across the chest behind a white background with red letters on the front and back. Meanwhile, Trinity Academy will be your home team in kind of a green top, white pants, and white caps will be introduced here in just a little bit. So we're going to take our second break here of the afternoon. Here, a word from our sponsors. A big thank you to those Marysville sports boosters, including Feldkamp's Furniture, Tension Envelope, Mike's OK Tires, and Rob Olmsted Real Estate. Max Blasky here at the home of the K-State Wildcats, Taunton Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas, getting ready for 3A state baseball. Coming up for you next here on KNDY FM 95.5.
Along with the new 2024 Chevy Silverado pickups, both 1,500 and 2,500 models, the Nordis Motor Company in Marysville has a pair of 2024 Chevy Equinox, the RS and LT packages, and a 2024 Chevy Blazer Premier. See it today and test drive at the Nordis Motor Company in Marysville.
After the storm, Cromie Lumber has everything you need to build it back. If the roof needs repair, build it back with quality shingles, including hail and wind-resistant styles, as well as metal roofing options. Let them help guide your best decision as to what's right for your home. Storms or not, is it time to update your home's windows and doors? Cromie Lumber can get a free estimate with whatever fits your needs. Increase energy efficiency, improve the looks, and make cleaning them easier. Glass and screen repair always available as well. Cromie Lumber has everything you need to build it back. Shop local. Shop Cromie Lumber, Marysville and Washington.
If you're a driver over 50, it may be time to switch your auto insurance. The AARP Auto Insurance Program from the Hartford is now available through Copeland Insurance Agency in Marysville. Call today for your free, no-obligation quote. Learn more about special rates, benefits, and service designed especially for AARP members. Call the Copeland Insurance Agency at 619-6220. That's 619-6220. Certain policy features are subject to eligibility and may not be available in all states. Hartford Fire Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut.
Max Blasky back with you here. 3A State Baseball getting ready action here in just a few minutes. Teams introduced now over on the third base side. Taking a peek at Trinity Academy for Wichita. They come in with a 20-4 record. Pitching is their motto, a 2.16 ERA this year as a squad. They did not allow a run in the regional tournament last week. We will take a timeout here for the anthem, bringing back starting lineups as we get ready for 3A action here from Manhattan.
Landall in Marysville is expanding and looking for career-minded individuals who want to work for a stable company that's been in business for 60 years. Currently hiring welders, painters, fabrication, truck driver, and maintenance positions. Experience preferred but not required. Competitive wages, merit increases, annual raises and promotions, $2 per hour shift differential for second and third shifts, and a 4% attendance bonus based off your gross weekly wage. Benefits include paid time off, paid holidays, profit-sharing bonus, comprehensive insurance plan with a $500 deductible, fuel allowance to drive to work, and more. Apply online today at landall.com or contact 785-562-5381. EEO Vets and Disability Welcome. Learn more and apply online at landall.com today.
At RX Drugstore, you will find an unparalleled level of customer care. Their friendly and courteous staff is ready to help you. Prescription refills are a breeze by calling in or placing your order through their mobile app or website, and free delivery is available in town in the Marysville, Frankfort, and Beatty communities. Your local Health Mart pharmacy provides prescription, over-the-counter, and durable medical equipment services, as well as stylish gift and decor items for your shopping pleasure. Stop in at RX Drugstore in downtown Marysville today.
Papa Dave's Veggies are coming to the Farmers Market in Marysville Saturday mornings. Dave Bruna has some bedding plants still available at the greenhouse at 5th and Alston, and some early season garden produce is starting to come in and will include spinach, radish, strawberries, and more. Stop by the garden on North 6th or at the Marysville Farmers Market downtown Saturday mornings throughout the spring and summer months, or call Dave Bruna at 562-6341.
High school baseball action back at you here this Thursday morning as we get ready for 3A from Manhattan. Both teams introduced, so we'll go ahead and bring you starting lineups. First for the visiting Wichita Trinity Academy on the season, 20-4. Just mentioning it, they did not allow a run in their 3 regional wins last week over Fredonia, Douglas, and Wichita Collegiate, winning 16-0, 8-0, 10-0. So this Marysville ball squad will have to have their bats up and going today. Wichita will go as follows in center field. It will be Braden Roberts. At catcher, Jackson Witt. At shortstop, Jack Carey. Pitching today at shortstop, it will be Joshua Sims. Meanwhile, pitching today will be Jack Carey for the Knights. Batting fifth and playing at third base today, Matthew Olmston. Batting sixth at first base, Ethan Everett. Right field, seventh is Joaquim Sanchez. In left field is Kyler Moore, and batting ninth at second base today for the Knights is Nolan Wilson. This Knights team, again, 20-4 on the season. This is their first appearance since 2019 at the state tournament. Their best showing is runners-up in 2007, and it will be the pitching today that we're going to have to keep an eye on. This Wichita Trinity team has an ERA just a hair over 2.16. Meanwhile, 7 batters out of this lineup are batting .300 on the season. As for the Marysville Bulldogs, it is a young team again this year, led mostly by sophomores and juniors, but making a name for themselves here after those 3 wins at regionals last week. Starting lineups now for the Bulldogs. It will be batting leadoff in left field, Jordan Miller. Batting second, your center fielder, Bryant Siemens. Batting third and catching, Grant Hafley. Cleanup today will be Alex Shale. At third base, shortstop is going to be Keegan Waters. Batting sixth and right fielder, Ty Mosier. Batting seventh at first base, Jacob Meyer. Pitching today and batting eighth for the Bulldogs is Dakota Slupionic. Meanwhile, at second, it will be Ty Haggard for the Bulldogs. So Marysville again will go Miller, Siemens, Hafley, Shale, Waters, Mosier, Meyer, Slubionic, and Haggard for their 9 out here to get this 3A action underway. Of course, if you're looking for Marysville softball over on our sister stations, AM 1570, FM 94.1, Bruce Deerking will have that call coming up here in just a little bit. Wichita Collegiate getting their last warm-ups in as Marysville will lead off top of the first when we come back.
Every producer worth his salt knows you're paid to produce. Same in our business. As ag banking experts, we know how to help your operation be successful, how to grow your business, how to produce results. So when you need an ag banking specialist for any reason, talk to us. Like you. We're paid to produce. Citizen State Bank, Marysville, Waterville, and Hanover. Member FDIC.
We're just making a living, making things grow.
Hey, farmers and ranchers, ready for planting season? Need a fuel buddy who's got your back? Kramer Oil is here for you. From Marysville to Jamestown, Longford, and everywhere in between, our 13 card lock locations keep you running smooth from sunup to sundown. Say goodbye to running on empty during planting. With Kramer Oil, you get reliable fuel services that fit just right with your farm's needs. Kramer Oil, powering your farm's success. Your go-to for fuel in Kansas and Nebraska.
Hop in, let's go to Honeyman Ford in Seneca, the best place to be.
Skip the drive. Come see us right here in Marysville, Kansas. At Honeyman Auto Sales and Service, you will find the same honest sales experience backed by the same reliable service. With the same goals in mind, our Marysville location is sure to provide you with a satisfying vehicle experience. Find us on Facebook or stop in at 1122 Pony Express Highway today.
Have you driven a Honeyman Ford lately?
Max Blasky back with you here from Manhattan, Kansas, as 3A baseball gets underway. Jordan Miller is going to lead off this game for the Bulldogs. Quickly already down in the hole here, 0-2. First one looking, second one swinging. Here's going to be a pop fly, third base side. That's going to stay up in play. Fouled off by the third baseman is made over there. Matthew Ohms then pulls it down for Wichita Trinity for the first out of the morning. Glad to have you all along here today. Beautiful crowd here from Marysville over along the first base line there. If you're tuning in back home, glad to have you all along here as we get 3A baseball ready and rocking and rolling. Bryant Siemens batting second here for the Bulldogs, steps into the plate, batting .417 on the year, 15 RBIs, 2 home runs too as well. This is a Marysville team. Doesn't boast a lot of power. Talking to head coach John Hafley before this contest, bunts and manufacturing runs is where this team really thrives. First pitch now to Siemens is going to be high and outside for a first ball. On the mound today for Wichita Trinity Academy, Jack Carey, the senior, will go about 6 foot there, right-handed, throwing it, we'd say probably in that mid-70s range. I'm sure we'll see a change-up here as the afternoon goes along, but of course going to dominate with that fastball as they have done all season. Carey comes in with a 4-0 record, a .75 ERA on the season, and 20 strikeouts. This Wichita Collegiate team really has 3 to 4 aces on their squad, which is tough to combat if you're Marysville, but it only takes one bad pitching day for the Bulldogs to strike here. There's going to be a 2-2 count. That one's going to be fouled straight back. Or excuse me, that was a 3-2 count, so we're going to stay full here at 3-2 as Siemens fights this off, second batter of the contest. First batter, Jordan Miller, popped out to third baseman. Siemens trying to get on here on the full count. Riley comes set now. Pitch comes in. That one's going to be popped left. Flare down to left fielder, drives him back a little bit, but popped out there. 2 quick outs for Trinity Academy here early on for the Bulldogs, as they have popped out twice now to opposite field, trying to force that left side of the ball diamond with those righties. Now coming left-handed hitting the catcher Grant Hafley. He'll step into the bag. Top 3 on this team in batting average, RBIs, and leads this team with 4 home runs this year. Comes into the contest. First pitch, ball just a little bit outside. Hafley, one of those sophomores, already talked about having himself an excellent year. Just 2 behind the Marysville record for home runs in a season. We'll be amazed if he gets there, but if he does, Marysville's on a roll. Hafley in control now, 2-0. His second pitch is high and outside again, 2-0 count. That's going to be grounded up the middle towards shortstop, easily taken there. Over to first, and that will be your 3 outs for the Bulldogs as Hafley goes 6-3, ground out there. No runs, no hits, no men left on base for the Bulldogs at the top of 1. No errors in the field for Trinity Academy. When we come back, bottom of the first inning, 0-0 is our score.
As the weather turns warm, it may be time to breathe new life into your outdoor space. Visit Hometown Lumber in Marysville or Axtell Lumber today to browse their wide selection of premium lawn fertilizers and insect repellents, grass seed, potting soil, and lawn tools to make the job easier. All the gardening essentials for whether you're a seasoned green thumb or a budding enthusiast, Hometown Lumber in Marysville and Axtell Lumber have what you need to grow something beautiful this year.
Generations have relied on Kinsley's of Marysville, the Padden Funeral Chapel in Frankfort, Hanover Mortuary, Ward Funeral Homes of Lynn and Washington, and Landreth Axtell Funeral Home. You can continue to rely on the professional experience that they provide and the heartfelt concern that they offer each family that they serve. Caring concern in your family's time of need.
3A baseball action on your radio here this morning on KNDY FM 95.5. If you haven't already done it, download that free KNDY FM mobile app too as well. You can seamlessly switch between our sister stations, FM 95.5 and AM 1570, depending on what you're feeling. Perfect for today if you're flipping back and forth between the Bulldogs on the baseball and softball diamonds. Of course, the Marysville girls getting started 11 o'clock over with Bruce Deerking. Paying attention back home in Marshall County, looking for a little something to do over the lunch hour. Don't forget the Marysville Catbackers will be hosting Jerome Tang, Wyatt Thompson, and plenty of other athletes and coaches at Landau Lanes this morning from 11:30 until 1:30. Free to come and go as you please. There will be hot dogs, chips provided too as well. Opportunity to meet, chat, and just have a good afternoon. So swing on up there to Landau Company here if you're not heading down to Manhattan to catch some baseball. At the end of the first half inning, it is 0-0. Marysville went 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Miller, Siemens, and Hafley. Miller and Siemens both popped out to the left side. Meanwhile, Hafley grounded out shortstop to third. Lead it off now, Trinity Academy. Braden Roberts, center fielder, will step in there. Righty close to the bag will take a first pitch ball from starting pitcher for the Bulldogs, Dakota Slupionic. Slupionic, the workhorse of the pitch staff this year for the Bulldogs. The second one is in there, strike one. Slupionic, 559 innings pitched this year, right ahead of Bryant Siemens. Does have a high ERA, just under 8. But of course, high school baseball, pretty easy to inflate that ERA with 1 or 2 bad outings. Does have 23 strikeouts on only 11 walks, does Dakota this year. So a good sign for him here today as he will face a Wichita Trinity Academy team that has 7 hitters that are batting over 300 this year, and as a team batting 303. Nice little ground out right to the pitchers. We're going to go 1-3 as Braden Roberts sends it right back to Slupionic on a 2-1 pitch. First out of the game for the Bulldogs. Goes right to the pitcher. 2-hole hitter, Jackson Witt, catcher here today, will step into the plate. Always like to see what all these teams like to do in terms of superstitions going into state play. Talking to head coach John Hafley, said his team wasn't doing much. Wichita Trinity must have went with the bleached hair, as all starting 9 for their team has the bleached blonde hair, looking like NSYNC from back in the early 2000s. Here's a swing and a miss. We're going to even this count up now at 1-1 on the right-handed hitting Witt, as Siemens pitching here well early. Both not wild pitches, but the last 2 pitches have been outside a little bit, so looking to control that here a little bit better. Siemens on the 1-1 pitch brings it in. Slupionic, that one can't be framed, 0-2. First round, Slupionic here today. First baseman, Jacob Meyer. Second baseman, Ty Haggard. Shortstop, Keegan Waters. And third baseman, Alex Schill. Meanwhile, in the outfield, it goes Jordan Miller, Bryant Siemens, and Ty Mosier left to right as we look at it. This beautiful K-State field down here in Manhattan. If you haven't got a chance to come down here, enjoy a game yet. I know they're in their league tournament down there in Texas. KU Jayhawks got that win over the Wildcats a little while ago. Beautiful opportunity to come down here and see some games. Here's going to be a wild pitch on ball 3, and all the way to second goes Jackson Witt. Just a loss of, I don't want to say confidence there, but concentration on the fourth ball of the at-bat. Witt goes all the way first to second. So already trouble here for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the first inning as the speedy Witt is setting at second base. Now it'll be 3-hole hitter Josiah Sims, shortstop here today for Trinity Academy. Stands in their left-handed batter's box, watches the first pitch down low and away from Slupionic, a ball 1. So Marysville went 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. Here are the Knights threatening in the bottom of the first. Runner on second, 1 out, 3-hole hitter up to bat. Here's going to be a drive left side. Foul, though, off third base side. Slupionic comes back even with this count, 1-1 now. Marysville, their first appearance here at state since 2006, just 2 years removed from a 1-16 year. Marysville, of course, the 8 seed here, only sub-500 team in this bracket at 10-13, but maybe one of the hotter teams, though, coming into this tournament. Slupionic throws a third pitch ball. Here comes the 2-1 count. That's going to be outside. No, we're going to catch the corner on that one, says home plate umpire. We are knotted up now at 2-2. Slupionic looking to get out of this one. That pitch is going to be high and away. Full count now to Sims. Runner on second is Jackson Witt. Got there on a walk and then a pass to ball. So got all the way to second on a third pitch. 3-2 count. That's going to be tight and inside. Witt's going to stay at second, but back-to-back walks issued now by Dakota Slupionic. 11 of those on the year make them 13. As now your four-hole hitter and pitcher Jack Carey steps at the plate with 2 men on now in the bottom of the first inning. Big right-handed hitter in there for the Knights. Slupionic looking to get out of this one. Still nothing ball game. Bottom of the first, 1 out for Marysville. That's going to be a ball high on the first one. Slupionic hasn't been able to find the middle of that zone. Of course, facing the team that bats .303 as an average. Want to stay out of the middle of that zone, but have to be aggressive here if you want to get some outs. Here's going to be a pass ball, second one of the game already, and runners will advance 90 feet. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Trinity Academy. Wild pitch, actually, is that one. Is Slupionic just off to the right of his delivery on a few of these pitches. Left-handed batter's been inside on. Right-handed batter's been too far outside so far here early on. Going to need to get that squared away. 2-0 is your count. Runners second and third here now for the Knights. That's going to be another pitch outside and down in this count. 3-0 to the 4-hole hitter, Jack Caney. Caney, I'm sure, will launch this one go by. We'll see what happens. Carey, we'll get those names out there. That's going to be a give-me pitch right down the middle. Slupionic still behind in this count, though, 3-1 with 2 runners in scoring position. Trinity Academy looking to strike first here in the bottom of the first. Slupionic comes set, goes home with it. That's going to be down in the dirt. 3 straight walks now by the Bulldogs as we have bases loaded for the 5-hole hitter coming up. Matt Omenson, senior third baseman, will step up now, and head coach John Hafley, he is going to call time. Go out there, talk to Dakota, try and calm him down. We're going to bring in the infield here now, too. Sticky situation here for the Bulldogs. They have been used to getting out in front of teams in their regional contest. Jumped out on Beloit early, ended up giving that one away, but came back to win. Held tight with Nemaha Central, then jumped out on Ellsworth 6-0 at the end of the first inning at that regional championship. But here early on in this first round of 3A state, in trouble of giving up the early run here in the bottom of the first. Bases are loaded after 3 straight walks. Dakota Slupionic was able to get the first batter of this inning, Braden Roberts, to ground out to the pitcher, followed up by a walk and a pass ball that got Jackson Witt all the way to second. 3-hole hitter Josiah Sims drew a walk, and then 4-hole hitter Jack Carey just drew himself a walk too as well. So already 3 walks drawn by Trinity Academy as Dakota Slupionic looks to find that strike zone here at bottom of the first inning. Bases loaded. He will face 5-hole hitter Matt Olmston. Senior third baseman stands in the right-handed batter's box. Infield in on the grass, looking for something short here. Trying to turn a double play at home on a slow roller. Outfield playing pretty medium depth. First pitch is a ball. Second pitch, ball 2 as well. 6 straight balls now for Dakota Slupionic as he has not been on point here early on. Behind his 4th straight batter already. 2-0 count now. Here it comes. That one's going to be down low and away too as well. A tight strike zone here this morning as Slupionic, big breath there on the mound. Needs to get out of this inning. 3-0 count now. Runners first, second, and third. Here it comes. That's going to be down the middle. Another give-me pitch. But still 3-1 count. Dakota in trouble. Chance of walking in the first run of this contest. 3-1. Looking for a little grounder. It's going to be down and outside ball 4. That's going to be a run scored for Wichita Trinity Academy. First run of the day here from Manhattan. Number 21, Ethan Emberhart, will step up to the bag as head coach Hafley will go back to the mound now here, talk with Dakota, and that's going to be it. A quick leash here, of course, in first round of state. We're going to bring in a relief pitcher. It will be Jordan Miller. Left fielder will now move to pitcher as Slupionic was only able to get through a third of an inning here this morning. So we'll see where everyone else kind of works their way around. I believe Miller came in to pitch. If I remember seeing it right, it looked like Ty Haggard went out to center field. So we're going to shift around the outfield. We're going to let Miller get warmed up here as Jordan's on the mound. A good opportunity to thank our sponsors today. Of course, our Marysville Sports Boosters all season long, making every Marysville broadcast possible home and away, including Nordis Motor, Crummy Lumber, Copeland Insurance, Landau Company, and RX Drug. Here today, just a few of those great sponsors. And, of course, if you want to get on at next season's sports sponsor list, give us a call up at the KNDY studios and get you set up for anything that you'd like to get advertised and start spreading the word about. Jordan Miller on the mound in relief for Dakota Slupionic. We're going to take one quick break, bring it right back here. Manhattan is 3A baseball. Rolls on KNDY.
Croc Family Insurance is here to help you find the right insurance products to protect what matters most to you. As an independent agency, they represent over 80 companies that allow options for the right products at the right cost. See Brian Croc today for home, auto, commercial coverage, and more. Call or stop by at 1119 Broadway, just west of the courthouse in Marysville. Find them online at crocfamilyinsurance.com. For complete coverage and a competitive quote, reach out to Croc Family Insurance in Marysville.
Always happy with your 5-star customer service. Your staff was super friendly and easy to work with.
Quick, helpful, responsive. Thank you. I'm so happy to be a Blue Valley customer. Blue Valley is awesome.
Blue Valley employees are always helpful, kind, and efficient.
At Blue Valley Technologies, we appreciate all our customers. Thank you for entrusting us to keep you connected.
Jordan Miller now on the mound for the Bulldogs. Gets a swing and a foul off here straight back. 1-1 count to six-hole hitter Ethan Emhart for Wichita Trinity. Already walked in 1 run. Did starting pitcher Dakota Slupionic, still responsible for the 3 base runners out there as we still have bases loaded here at bottom of the first inning. Slupionic only able to go a 3rd inning, and that was the first batter of the game. Grounded right back to himself after 4 straight walks and that one run driven in. Slupionic now back at second base. So he'll take over second base there. Second baseman Ty Haggard is going to move out to center field, I believe, if we can see numbers correctly. Left fielder Jordan Miller is going to move into pitcher. That means center fielder Bryant Seaman is going to move over to left field. So switching already here for the Bulldogs early on, trying to find that pitching woes or breakdown. Ground shortstop here. Is this 2? No, this is 1. Across the diamond goes shortstop Keegan Waters, gets 1 out. Will drive in a run, though, for Ethan Ebhart as he picks up the RBI. As Seams will come down to score that run. Sacrifice there for Trinity Academy as they're up 2-0. Joaquin Sanchez, right fielder now, will step in. He is the 7th batter of this inning. Big righty there. Takes a first pitch ball. 1-0 count now as Bulldogs trailing here at bottom of the first inning at 2-0. Thought about swinging there, did Sanchez. but holds off on that fastball high and away from Miller. Jordan Miller comes into this contest now pitching this season. Over 300 innings, and ERA just over 6, but thrown in here to a tough spot. He's down 0-3-0 to the 7-hole hitter. Gets a strike there now as fights this one back 3-1. Runners still at second and third for the Knights. There's going to be ball 4 as Marysville cannot find that strike zone here early on. Already the third walk issued by the Bulldogs. First one for Miller here today. Tyler Moore, number 8 hitter, will step in to the batter's box now. Trinity Academy looking to keep this one going. Marysville looking to stop the bleeding. There's a ball as Marysville has not been able to get ahead of these hitters. Hasn't been able to use their defense either yet this bottom of the first. Almost a 15-minute bottom of the first inning already. Marysville went 1-2-3 in their top of the first. Trinity Academy working counts here. Now 2-0. Leading is Moore. Miller comes set. Ball 3 again. As even out of relief, Marysville can't find that strike zone. You want to attack a team that does bat 300 on the season, but you need to be careful where you do. Here's going to be a outside pitch called a strike. We'll take it nonetheless. It's 3-1 now. Marysville's walked in both of the runs the Trinity Academy has scored so far here in the bottom of the first. Miller comes set on a 3-1. That one's high and outside, back-to-back walks again, and that will balk in a third run here in this bottom of the first inning. Moves all the runners up to 90 feet and loads them up again now for your 3-hole hitter, Nolan Wilson, second baseman out there today for the Knights. Trying to get that third and final out. First batter of this inning, ground out to the pitcher moments ago. A sac RBI for Ethan Ebhart, put down the second run for Trinity Academy, and Kyler Moore just drew his first walk of the game and pitched in the fourth run for the Knights here this morning. Quickly down 2-0 again is Jordan Miller, as the Bulldogs cannot find the strike zone here today. Talking to head coach John Hafley, pitching number one thing in any level of baseball you need to have so far this morning. Bulldogs don't quite have it getting off the bus. Early morning game could be a little bit to show for that. The bats are going to have to wake up here in the next couple innings too as well. There's going to be a foul ball, and finally a Marysville pitcher ahead in the count. It is 2-2 now to the 9-hole hitter, Nolan Wilson. On deck, of course, top of the order again, Braden Roberts. He grounded out to the pitcher his first time out. Jordan Miller on the mound now in relief of Dustin Slubionic, who went a third inning. Here's going to be the 2-2 pitch. That's high and tight. 3-2 now. Miller needs a good pitch here. Let's get this 9-hole hitter out. Righty comes set, brings it home. That's going to be driven short, second base side. Good grounder there now for Slubionic, and the man who starts it ends this inning as Wilson grounds out 4-3 to end the bottom of the first. But the damage has been done due to the walks. Trinity Academy picks up 5 of those. In the bottom of the first inning, they score 3 runs on no hits. 3 men left on base. No errors in the field for Marysville, but the Bulldogs bats are going to need to wake back up. It is 3-0 Wichita Trinity Academy ahead after 1 inning.
At Sunflower Community Credit Union, we're proud to give back to our community through initiatives like Debit for a Difference, a program that provides local educators with grants for their classrooms, which helps them make a difference in our schools. Along with Save at School, an innovative way for students to learn the value of saving money. Kids can open their very own savings account, making financial education fun and accessible. Join Sunflower Community Credit Union in Marysville and become part of a financial family committed to your success and the success of our community.
Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance, providing high-quality coverage and service, all at a competitive premium cost. Since 1888, Bremen Farmers Mutual has offered homeowner, farm owner, business owner, fire, and inland marine coverage. Dependable and affordable. See your local agent representing Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance. Learn more about the various insurance products offered by going online at bfmic.com.
Reminder kicking off here in just a few minutes up in Marysville at Landall Lanes. Marshall County Catbackers will be hosting Alumni Association 4K State, including Wyatt Thompson, Jerome Tang. So swing on up there from 11:30 until 1:30. Get some free food, have some conversations, chat a little bit, and have a good afternoon. Of course, we thank you all for tuning in here. Marysville trails top of the second inning, 3-0 on 5 walks drawn by Trinity Academy in the bottom of that first inning. Leading off the second will be Alex Shale. Drives one left side to the third baseman. Drives him deep, but it will be a foul ball. Now quickly down in this count, 0-2. Shale, leading hitter for this Marysville squad, of course, 4-hole hitter, 437 on the year, 25 RBIs to his name. But right now, no one on base to drive in, just looking to get Marysville's first hit of the game. 0-2 count, drives that one foul off to the first base side, well and out of play. We'll stay here 0-2. Marysville, though, reaching at those balls that Trinity Academy was letting go in the bottom of that first inning. It seems to be a little bit of a tight strike zone here this morning, but going to have to adjust. 0-2 count, drives that one foul again as Shale just barely stays alive. Shale, one of the 4 sophomores that have made a big impact on this Marysville Class, including Grant Hafley, Keegan Waters, and Ty Mosier. Of course, good years upcoming for the Bulldogs, but here today it's an all Trinity Academy as a swinging strikeout by Shale will be the first out of the afternoon, or of this second inning. Only strikeout number 5 on the season for Alex Shale. Don't see it very often, so pitcher Jack Carey out there is working here today. Now batting 5-hole hitter, the before-mentioned Keegan Waters, playing shortstop here today. Got one good ground ball there in the second, or in the bottom of the first inning, Heading this count now, 1 ball, no strikes. Sees that one go down the middle. 1-1 count is where we stand. Marysville went 1-2-3 on 2 pop-ups by Jordan Miller and Bryant Siemens, and in threat of going 1-2-3 here as Waters grounds it right back to the pitcher. 1-3 for the second out of the inning, and on only 3 pitches, Jack Carey for Wichita Trinity Academy has himself 2 outs already here in the top of the second after the Knights put up 3 in the bottom of the first. Now will be your 6-hole hitter, Ty Mosier, right fielder, swing and a miss on the first pitch. Blew the fastball right by him. Mosier couldn't quite keep up. Standing ahead in that batter's box, up tight to the plate. That one's going to be high and outside. 1-1 is the count. Mosier this year batting .351. Marysville is a team batting .340 on the season. They have good games. They've had bad games. Of course, this team 10-13 on the year had a stretch of contests where they struggled middle of the season. Played a bunch of 4A teams, including Abilene, who's at 4A State, Wamego, Clay Center, and of course Sabetha, who's opposite of this 3A bracket. The 1-2 pitch now to Mosier will be looked at and called a strikeout. 2 punch-outs now for Jack Carey for Wichita Trinity Academy. Bulldogs go without a fight in the top of the second. No runs, no hits, no men left on base, no errors out in the field. The Knights lead the Bulldogs here 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the second.
Turnkey custom home builds with Inline Construction make the home building process as easy as you approving final decisions. From start to finish, let Inline tackle site preparation, foundation, framing, and finish inside and out. Lots are available at Hartley Ridge in North Marysville, or they can build on your site. Call today and get started with Inline Construction.
Ride into summer savings with Crown Over Auto Sales in Marysville. A full selection ready to cruise in style. Be the envy of the neighborhood with your new ride setting in the driveway. Open 7 days a week with new arrivals daily. Visit crownoverautosales.com or stop by today and hit the road in style.
Max Blasky back with you here on a beautiful Thursday morning from Taunton Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas, host of the 3A state title. Of course, if you're looking for more baseball over on our sister station AM 1570, FM 94.1. The Marysville softball squad taking on Holcomb in first-round action. Kind of like this game right now, Bulldogs down 3-0 at the bottom of the second as Bruce Deerking has that call over on there. And if you haven't done it already, go ahead and download the free KNDY app too as well. They get into the sports season, easy to take along with you. Listen to us wherever you may go, anywhere in the world with the free KNDY app. So Marysville pitching goes through the entire order in the bottom of that first. Trinity Academy picked up 3 runs on 5 walks issued and no hits allowed, though, by Marysville in that top of the first. The trail here 3-0. We'll be back to the top of the order. Braden Roberts, center fielder, grounded out to the pitcher. Then pitcher Dakota Slupionic in that first inning. Slupionic only lasted a third inning. Roberts was his only out recorded before Jordan Miller came in and pitched in relief for Slupionic. Now it looks like we do have a pitching change again on the mound here for the Bulldogs as head coach John Hafley looks to find a remedy to this solution. Bryant Siemens will actually come in to pitch here at top of the second. So the center fielder now moves into the pitching position, but no luck on the first batter of his outing as he walks him over to first base. 6 walks already allowed by this Marysville pitching staff. Bryant Siemens will now be your pitcher for the Bulldogs, and that means Jordan Miller will move back out to the outfield, I believe right back out there to center field as Siemens comes into this contest on the year pitching 13 games pitched. We'll get it out there. Has himself a 4.3 ERA, but didn't start off too well on his first batters. He allowed a walk. So we got runners at first. Runner goes from first. He's going to be swinging a miss at home plate, but getting in there easily is Braden Roberts in there with a steal. First one of the day for Trinity Academy, and Roberts stays perfect, 18 for 18 for steal attempts on the season. Heading this count, though, to Jackson Witt. He walked and came around to score the first run of the game in that first inning. Pitch is going to be high on the 0-2 count, making it now 1-2. Third pitcher Marysville's already used here this morning. Bryant Siemens on the mound for the Bulldogs. Gets a swing and a miss there from Jackson Witt. Aggressive in the strike zone. First K for the Bulldogs here this morning. That will bring up 3-hole hitter Josiah Sims. Shortstop, he drew himself a walk in the first inning. Came around to score 2 as well. Runner at second here for the Knights. Lefty on righty. Bunny attempt is going to be pushed first base, and it's going to be foul. Good bunt if it had stayed fair. Went foul by about 6 inches, but it will be adding the count for Siemens now 0-1. Marysville went 1-2-3 in their top of the first. The Knights came around and scored 3 in the bottom of the first on 5 walks, 3 runs, no hits. That's where we stand now, 3-0. At bottom of the second is Marysville 1-2-3, and they're top of the second too as well. 1-0 pitch going to be outside, 1-1, 0-1 pitch going to be outside. So 1-1 now is your count. Lefty Siemens brings it in. That's going to be a bouncing ball, pass ball. Runner will advance 90 feet on the pass. Figured we'd see Siemens early in this game. Didn't think it was going to be quite this early. Of course, started out the year as a starter midway through. Coach John Hafley talking about it earlier. Decided to put Bryant there in a more relief role for the Bulldogs, and he has done excellent in that setting. He has struck out 48 batters to lead the team here this year for Marysville. Lefty brings it set on the 2-1 count. That's going to be outside by about a country mile. Now 3-1 as Trinity Academy has been ahead of just about every count so far here this morning. Lefty brings it set. That's going to be a drive left field. That's going to drive left fielder all the way back to the wall over his head. That's going to score 1 run for Sims. as Roberts comes in to score, and that's going to be a stand-up double for Josiah Sims, as that's going to be the first hit of the game for Wichita Trinity Academy. Outfield was playing fairly, I don't want to say fairly shallow, as I believe that's Jordan Miller, who was just pitching for the Bulldogs out there in left field now, got turned around, drove him into that left field corner, and now home plate and second baseman just switch positions. Siemens will now take on fellow pitcher Jack Carey. Carey so far holding the Bulldogs hitless through the first 2 innings, looking to help his cause. Defense up on the infield grass for the Bulldogs. Corners in. That one hit Carey. A little upset with that one as that went right off the left calf muscle there for Carey. Quickly jogs down to first base. First hit by pitch by either squad. And now runners at first and second here, still with only 1 out for the Bulldogs in the bottom of this second inning. Courtesy runner there for the pitcher. Get a nice round of ovation from the Knights crowd over here on the third base side. Now we'll bring up the 5-hole hitter, Matt Olmanson, the third baseman. Drew a walk, wound up being stranded at third there in the bottom of the first inning. 1 of 3 that got stranded as Wichita Trinity opened it up 3-0 at the bottom of the first. Could have been more damage as they left the bases loaded, though. And we've got first and second, Bryant Siemens trying to find that control. This Marysville pitching staff has been missing all morning long, and again, that one's in the dirt. 1-0 is the count. Just not able to find the strike zone so far today for this Marysville squad. They've done it decently all the season long. As runner takes off for third, it's going to be a wild pitch, so everyone winds up 90 feet further. So second wild pitch already here of this inning, and now 2 runners in scoring position for the Knights, looking to blow this one open. It's already 4-0 in the bottom of the second. The Knights already second time through the order. Marysville's only sent 6 up to bat. And your 5-hole hitter, Matthew Olmstead, is ahead in this count 2-0. Siemens looking to get back into this one. Brings it home. That one's going to hit him. Second hit batter of this morning's contest. We're going to have bases loaded for the Knights once again. Head coach John Hafley, 1 more trot out there here in the second inning as this pitching staff for the Bulldogs just cannot find their mark so far here today. Already on their third pitcher, Bryant Siemens, looks like he's going to either get a talking to or be done with for the day. Don't know how many more pitchers that the Bulldogs can allow. Siemens up there in innings pitched this year, along with Alex Shale, if need be. I'm sure we might see Jacob Meyer if we get to that point, too, as well. But we're going to leave Siemens out there right now and trying to fight his way through it. Bryant, statistically, one of the better pitchers that Marysville has this year, an ERA at 4.3, has allowed 37 walks on 48 strikeouts. Only 16 runs allowed this year, but something about playing down here in Manhattan. Boys cannot find the strike zone this morning. Could have been the time change. Could have been the location change. Nonetheless, Marysville trailing 4-0 here at bottom of the second, and it's been all walks, self-inflicted damage for the Bulldogs. Swing and miss on the first pitch. Second one's going to go right back to Siemens. He did not touch home plate. Oh, no, they're going to call it. Okay, good job there by Grant Hafley. He was just barely in front of home plate. So the force out there is going to go 1-2 as Ebert will go to first. Everyone else moves up 90 feet, so bases are going to be stay loaded on the force out there at home. Joaquin Sanchez, right fielder, steps up to the right-handed batter's box, deep and tight in that box now. Seaman gets ahead 0-1. Pass ball again, third one here this inning, and that will score a run. Coming home to score on the pitcher pinch run will be the second one here so far in this bottom of the second for the Knights. Everyone else advances a base. There's now runners at second and third here for the Knights. Knotted up 1-1 count. Here's the soft grounder over to the first baseman's side. Siemens tosses it over that way, and we're going to finally get out of this inning for the Bulldogs. It wasn't pretty, though, as they allow 2 runs on 1 hit. 2 men left on base, though, for Wichita Trinity. No errors in the field, but 3 passed balls as Marysville pitching has allowed 5 runs through the first 2 innings. Bats are going to have to wake back up. We'll be back for the top of the third right after this.
Farmers, they're the lifeblood of America. The men and women who tackle the toughest jobs to put clothes on our backs and food on our tables. They might do it quietly, but their genuine values and tireless work ethic are an inspiration to us all. Some might say farming is a thankless occupation, so that's why we're taking the time to say thanks. Farm Bureau Financial Services, protecting what matters most.
Patrick Booty in Marysville is your local agent with Marshall County, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Farm Bureau Financial Services.
Agriculture. Our country was built on it. Our children are fed by it. No one quite understands the unique needs of the farmer like United Bank and Trust. Whether you raise crops or livestock, you need the right equipment at the right time. Our ag loans can help you acquire and maintain that equipment when and where you need it. Contact one of our experienced ag lenders today. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Max Blasky back with you here, 3-8 State Baseball on your radio dial, FM 95.5, AM 15, 95.5 over on our sister station, AM 1570, FM 94.1. Bruce Deerking has the call as the Marysville softball squad taking on Holcomb. They trail second inning 3-0 in that score here from Manhattan. Bulldogs down 5-0 after 2. Top of the third, still looking for their first hit is Marysville here in this one, as Wichita Trinity Academy has just been on par here today. Pitching-wise and batting-wise, it really has been the pitching for the Bulldogs that has hurt them here today. So far, Wichita Academy, they have 6 walks. They drew 5 in that first inning, ended up walking in all 3 runs for the Knights. But Marysville's bats has gone 1-2-3, 1-2-3 in both the first and second innings. Getting their first crack at it now, Jacob Meyer, first baseman, is going to drive this one left side. That will be a pop-out, though, to start this third inning, and that's what's Marysville's Achilles heel so far here in this one. A few pitches and an out. Now to that, it will be second baseman Dakota Slubionic. He'll step into the right-handed batter's box. Started this contest out on the mound. Got moved after a third of an inning. Here looking to get his team their first hit of the game, but a big swing and a miss will not get that started here today. Down to the count now, 0-1. Let's make it 0-2. This Trinity Academy team, they have finished runner-up the last 2 years to eventual state champion Wichita Colgate into their regional, and it's showing here so far today. They have come out with a fire. They have been attacking that strike zone, and they have been making Marysville pay, as the second strikeout of the day is going to be recorded for pitcher Jack Carey, and it looks like that's probably going to be the end of his day here. Pitch count, of course, a factor getting into these tournament settings. You want to protect one of your better pitchers, you'll have to see how many pitch counts they can let him go. That will be the case here, I believe, as Carey will exit after, let's see here, 2 2/3 innings pitched for the Knights. He will exit this contest and switch with, I believe it's going to be the first baseman. We're going to take a break here. Word from our sponsors. Thank you, of course, today making these games possible, including Citizen State Bank, CJ Express, East and Weston, Marysville, Hometown Lumber, Honeyman Auto, Kinsley Mortuary, and Crop Family Insurance. We're going to take a quick word here from our sponsors. We'll be back here as Wichita Trinity Academy bringing in a new pitcher here, top of the third, leading 5-0.
Freeze CPA in Marysville has built a heritage of trust and reliability with your accounting, tax, and business advisory needs through the years. Certified public accountant Marcus Freeze, with over 25 years of experience, and his staff continue that tradition of outstanding service to you, the customer, each and every day. Freeze CPA, downtown Marysville.
It doesn't matter if it cuts a wide or narrow path. If your farm is in that path, a hail or windstorm will damage two things, your crop and your bottom line, in a matter of minutes. With already tight margins, take the stress out of seeing those clouds roll in and that thunder rumbling by adding crop hail to your coverage now. Crop hail is a very affordable and simple way to extend your risk protection plan. The rates are great this year, so call Tammy at Alliance Insurance today, 785-562-2393, to quote hail, wind, and extra harvest expense. And thank you, farmers, for all you do.
Max Blasky back with you here as 3-8 State Baseball is on your airways here today. It will be a pitching change for the Knights. It looks like Ethan Everhart will be your pitcher. He's going to move over from first base now to pitching, I believe. Pitcher Jack Carey then moves over to first base. Saw Trinity Academy. They had some dark green uniforms. They went with black numbers with about a pencil-length white strip around the numbers, so kind of hard to tell. We'll keep you updated, but big number to keep in mind. Marysville already trailing this one here, 5-0 in the top of the third, and down in the count again is your 9-hole hitter, Ty Haggard. Marysville has not even been able to muster a hit here so far today, let alone they only have 2 ground balls. They've only put 5 balls in play with 3 pop-outs and 2 ground-outs. So the Knights have been pitching exceptionally well here on this Thursday morning. Finally watching one go by ahead in the count finally is a Marysville batter, 2-1 now to the center fielder, Haggard. He looks to get Marysville's first hit of this contest rocking and rolling. There's going to be a pitch outside. No, we're going to call that a strike. Tight strike on the outside quarter for the right-handed hitter. Vantage pitcher now 2-2. Already 2 outs here, top of the third. 2-2 pitch home from the righty. That's going to be popped right side over the first base dugout. Out and play, foul ball. Marysville so far went 1-2-3 in the first, 1-2-3 in the second, and threatening 1-2-3 here in the third. 2-2 pitch home. Haggard looking to stay alive, and he does. Pitches inside down along the toes. Full count now. First time we've said that, second time I guess we've said that Bryant Siemens worked a full count, but other than that, it's been the first 3 pitches Marysville's been swinging at and usually getting out here in this one. Here's a drive left side. First hit for Marysville. Ty Haggard rips that one down the third base line. It will be a single for the Bulldogs on their first hit of the afternoon. So your 9-hole hitter comes through with a hit. Let's see what the top of the order can do as we go back to Jordan Miller, leadoff hitter. He popped out to the third baseman in his first attempt. As looking to pull it is the righty. Haggard, decent little lead over there at first. It's going to be driven center field. That's going to be good enough for the center fielder, though. A pop out for the third out of the inning. Marysville does pick up their first hit, though, of the day, but they leave him stranded at first. 1 hit, no runs, no errors in the field, and 1 man left on base for the Bulldogs as they trail at the bottom of 3.5 innings, 5-0.
At Reflections, you will find a treasure trove of items and gifts backed by a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Shop your Hallmark Gold Crown store for the biggest selection in greeting cards, Christmas ornaments, gift wrap, home decor, and gift ideas for all your celebration and personal needs. In addition, Reflections offers custom framing services and specialized Black Squirrel products, along with your favorite K-State and KU fan gear. Shop Reflections in downtown Marysville today.
There is a difference. Oh, what a difference.
We've helped a lot of families own their own home. We have several options available in mortgage loans. If you're thinking of building or buying a new home, come in and see us. We're an equal housing lender. First Commerce Bank. Experience the difference. Member FDIC.
There is a difference.
Max Blasky back with you on the airwaves here this morning, as it has been all night so far here in this first round action of 3A state baseball from Taunton Family Stadium in Manhattan. This 8-1 matchup leads off our day. Coming up later today after this one, the 4-5 matchup between Burlington Frontons, and later on this afternoon at 3:30, Heston Topeka Hayden matchup. Meanwhile, Sabetha and Central Plains will match up later on this afternoon. Those are your teams that were able to make it to 3A State here in Manhattan. A beautiful facility, getting the game early in today, talking a little rain later on this afternoon. So glad we were able to get this in. Glad to have you all along, too, here this morning as Marysville trails after 2.5, 5-0, as Kyler Moore will step up to the plate. He drew 1 of 5 walks in the first inning for the Knights. Quickly here, though, down in the count 1-2, as on the mound, lefty Bryant Siemens will continue to pitch here for the Bulldogs and try and keep this deficit right where it is. Marysville so far, batting-wise, finally pick up their first hit in that last half inning. Your 9-hole hitter, Ty Haggard, comes through with the first knock for the Bulldogs, and that's a strikeout looking there on Kyler Moore. First strikeout for the Bulldogs called here today. Now Siemens will step in, pick up his first K of this state tournament. Make that 49 strikeouts now for Bryant on the season. Lefty will now face 9-hole hitter Nolan Wilson. Grounded out to the second baseman in his first plate appearance. 1-0 count now coming. It's going to be grounded left side down the third base side. 1-1 advantage there, Siemens. Want to remind everyone going on this afternoon, too, in Marysville, if you're looking for a little something to do, hanging around during lunchtime up at Landau Lanes from 11:30 until 1:30, the Marshall County Catbackers will be hosting their meet and greet event. Wyatt Thompson, Jerome Tang, student athletes, former and current, as well as current coaches, too, as well, will be up there at Landau Lanes. Free food, too, as well. So if you need an excuse to sneak out of the office for lunch, pop on up there and get yourself some lunch. That's a good conversation and show that Wildcat support. We're sitting down here at the home of the Wildcats, Taunton Family Stadium in Manhattan. 3-1 pitch here to the 9-hole hitter now as Siemens thrown 4 straight balls, and let's make that a 5th. Down in the dirt is that one. Another walk drawn by Trinity Academy. We'll put runners at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. That's actually walk number 8 already allowed by this Marysville squad on the season. 122 walks allowed on the year. That's good enough for just a hair over 5 per game. So Marysville almost already doubling that mark here this morning, and not a good time to be hitting those records at state baseball. Siemens ahead of leadoff hitter now, Braden Roberts. 0-1. Roberts now 0 for 1 officially with a walk, a steal, and a run scored in the second. Started the game off with a ground out right back to the pitcher, Dakota Slupionic. That was Slupionic's only out he recorded in this contest after he was yanked after 4 straight walks that gave Trinity Academy the lead, and the Knights have never looked back in this one. Runner on first, Nolan Wilson. Batting Braden Roberts, leadoff hitter for the Knights. Swing and a miss. It is now 1-2. Advantage to the lefty. Siemens on the mound for the Bulldogs. Long counts for Trinity Academy so far here today. Short counts for the Bulldogs on the other side. Lefty looks over at first, facing that way. Runner doesn't go. That one is off the bat. I don't know if that hit him. There's no indication. No, he's out. So on the 1-2 pitch, I believe Brian Siemens got himself the strikeout. It went past the catcher, Grant Hafley. Didn't have to throw down, so we're going to call that a strikeout. Second one already here in the inning for Bryant. It's quickly now 2 are down. Runner did advance, though, up to second on the pass ball. That's pass ball number 4 already today for the Bulldogs, and Siemens ahead of 2-hole hitter Jackson Witt, 0-1. Witt officially 0 for 1-2 as well. He drew the first walk of the game, came around to score in the first, struck out in the second. Siemens looking to do that to him again here in the third. Here's a little bloop. That's going to drop, though, for a hit. A center fielder dives for it. Couldn't quite get to it. I believe that's Ty Haggard out there, and another run is going to come around and score for Wichita. Single there for Witt on the RBI. It is now 6-0 Knights here at the bottom of the third inning as they continue to pour it on here on Marysville. It's been a tough run so far here today, but an excellent run at state for the Bulldogs. Well documented before. Marysville took out the 3-seeded Beloit Trojans, the 2-seeded, I had my information here just a second ago, 2-seeded Nemaha Central Thunder, and then beat top seed Ellsworth last week at regionals. Here's going to be a drive on the first pitch down the left side. That's going to get through and between first and second baseman. Going in for a double, and he's safe at second is Josiah Sims. On the first pitch, Sims drives a double into the gap for Trinity and now has runners at second and third as Witt moves all the way up to third base. Deceptive speed this Wichita Trinity Academy team has. Played it very well there. Ball went into third base from right field. Sims just did a good job of waiting to see where that throw went and then took off for second when it did. Now your four-hole hitter, Jack Carey, will ground out softly to the second baseman, just what Marysville was needing to get out of that inning. Pops out to Dakota Slupionic at second. Trinity does put up one more run on 2 more hits. 2 men left on base for the Knights. No errors in the field for the Bulldogs. The Marysville Bats still needing to wake up here in this one, get off the bus and get going as we go into the top of the fourth. Wichita Trinity leading at 6-0.
No 2 farms are alike, and at Blue Valley Insurance, we understand that. That's why you'll get farm insurance coverage tailored just for you. We look at your individual situation and help you figure out the coverages that make the most sense for your farm, all at an affordable price. No matter what you grow or how big or small your farm, we can help. Your roots are in farming. Ours are in protecting you. Blue Valley Insurance in Lynn, Greenleaf, Hanover, and Marysville.
For reliable trash pickup and roll-off service, call on Temps Disposal. Containers sized to meet your needs for residential, commercial, and construction jobs. Always prompt and professional, Temps Disposal serves Marshall, Washington, and Gage counties. Let them go to work for you. If it's their weekly collection schedule or one-time pickups for construction, moving, or cleanup, Temps Disposal in Marysville is a phone call away at 785-562-5360.
Max Blasky back with you here from Taunton Family Stadium on the campus of the K-State Wildcats here in the aura of Bill Snyder Family Stadium as football season is just around the corner. Reminder that coming up in August, KNDY will be back with our regional coverage every Friday night of regional football right here on FM 95.5. You can always catch the Marysville Bulldogs over on our sister station, AM 1570, FM at 94.1. And if you know anyone out there that might be interested in calling a little base or football or basketball coming up in these sports seasons, give them our contact. Give us a call up at the KNDY studios, always looking to expand our team. Phone number 785-562-2361. Current pitcher Bryant Siemens will step into the left-handed batter's box. Wants pitch to be blown away ahead of this count now 2-0. Siemens 0 for 1 officially popped out to left field in his first plate appearance way back in the first inning. Seems like forever ago, as we are an hour into this contest, as it's just at noon. Glad to have you all along today. Of course, if you're looking for our noon news block at KNDY Radio, we'll join that live in coverage here just as soon as we get done with this contest. As always, you can find any of our broadcasts, those news segments, or any sporting events available for download as a podcast at KNDYradio.com. You can go listen live anytime. Head of the count here is Bryant, 3-1. Going to watch that one go down for a walk. And Marysville has their second base runner here of the morning, as Siemens will draw a lead-off walk from now pitcher Ethan Ebert, who just came on in relief from first base there for Jack Carey. Carey pitched exceptionally well, 2 2/3 innings, allowed no hits on, no runs, no strikeouts, no walks either, but just pitched good baseball for Trinity Academy. First pitch here to 3-hole hitter Grant Haseley. That's going to be low and outside. First time today, Marysville's been ahead in back-to-back counts. Now 2-0 here, as only trailing 6-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. A few runs could really change this momentum around. The good Marysville crowd has been rooting on for something to happen here all morning long. This one's going to be inside now. 3-0 here to Haseley. Grant, statistically second best hitter on this team with a .420 average on the year. He does have 13 walks, 8 strikeouts, leads the team in RBIs and home runs this year too as well. 26 ribbies for Grant, as only a sophomore, mentioned it earlier, climbing up close to the season home run leaderboard. Also somewhat close to that RBI mark, 10 RBIs away from the all-time mark in Marysville baseball school history. Runner up first is Bryant Siemens. That's going to be ball 4. Back-to-back walks here now issued by this Trinity Academy pitching staff, as Marysville has runners on first and second, and a first pitching visit now for head coach Josh Robertson, as he will go to the mound to talk to his new pitcher. Back-to-back walks now for the Knights. Really what happened to Marysville, too, in that first inning. Bulldogs were able to get the first out of the game as Braden Roberts grounded out to the pitcher, but then 4 straight walks issued by starting pitcher Dakota Slupionic gave the Knights a 1-run lead. In came relief pitcher Jordan Miller. Miller lasted himself an inning and a half, was able to get out of that first with bases loaded. The Trinity did the damage, picking up 3 runs in the bottom of the first. They came back in the 7th, picked up 2 more on 1 more run, and 2 more walks issued by Miller before Bryant Siemens came in there for the final out of the second inning. Pitched a 3rd inning, gave up 1 run on 2 hits. Marysville trails this one 6-0, as the Marysville offense held to only 1 hit so far here today. That is from your 9-hole hitter, Ty Haggard, last inning. Now here's a pass ball. Runners move up 90 feet once again. So a little noise being made here by the Bulldogs, as they've got 2 runners in scoring positions now for 4-hole hitter Alex Shale. Big third baseman stands in there deep in the box. Will be ahead in this count now, 1-0. 1-0 count, righty on righty. That one's inside 2 as well. 2-0 is your count here. 2-0 count upcoming now for Shale. Shale swings and a miss on that one. A little down and outside on a little change up there. Struck out in his first up at bat. 2, officially 0 for 1 with that strikeout. Strikeout on 3 pitches. Now Shale gives a swing and a miss, whiffed on that one. Quickly behind again in the count. 2-2 now is Alex Shale. Runners on second and thirds, Bryant Siemens, Grant Haseley. That one hit Shale, so Shale's going to draw himself a hit by pitch. Now we've got bases juiced here in the top of the 4th, as that is going to be a time called, and we're going to see a pitching change from Wichita Trinity Academy. Marysville threatening here in the top of the fourth, as a pitching change will be happening for the Knights. We're going to take a timeout, hear a word from our sponsors, including Blue Valley Technologies, Sunflower Community Credit Union, Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance, and Inline Construction. A big thank you for all of our Marysville sports boosters making this broadcast possible here today and all season long. Marysville threatening top of the fourth, bases loaded, no outs. Pitching change now for the Knights. We'll be back after this message.
Napa know-how.
Locally owned, locally operated, your Napa Parts store in Marysville offers Napa parts and accessories, plus the tools, equipment, and supplies you need to get every job done right the first time. The right tools at the right price, plus Napa know-how. From your locally owned and locally operated Napa Parts store in Marysville, Enan's Automotive.
Napa know-how.
Right now, 1 in 3 drivers is cruising around in a state of skepticism about just how much value their car insurance company is delivering. If you're one of them, State Farm agent John Bannister can help you get to a better state. He'll talk with you, listen to you, and help put together a policy that has you written all over it. From cost to coverage, see John Bannister, 1022 Broadway in Marysville today, and get to a better state.
The pitching change here for the Knights. It will be shortstop Josiah Sims taking over on the mound. That will move, I believe, previous pitcher Ethan Everett back out to first base. Switching over, then Jack Carey is going to switch over to shortstop. We can read the numbers right here on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Max Blasky along with you here for the ride as Marysville trails 6-0, top of the fourth inning, but threatening here with bases loaded. First show of life this Marysville offense has seen so far today. It started with a walk drawn by two-hole hitter Bryant Siemens on the mound now as the pitcher for the Bulldogs, followed up by another walk and a hit by pitch by Grant Hafley and Alex Shale. Shale was down in the count 2-2 before he pulled up with that hit by pitch. Now it's going to be up to shortstop Keegan Waters now. Righty steps into the batter's box with 3 men on, looking to break this scoring drought for the Bulldogs as they have been scoreless here through the first 3. Waters so far on the year batting .327 and 55 at-bats, does have 15 RBIs, 20 runs scored, 10 strikeouts, and only 5 walks, though, so a free-swinging Waters will go after the first pitch, foul that one over the first base side, and will be down in the count now 0-1. Josiah Sims, new pitcher in for Trinity Academy. This one's written down the left side in between the shortstop and third base. That's going to drive in 1 run as the outfield was playing in shallow, but an RBI for Waters there as he gets up to first. First run here for the Bulldogs on their second hit of the day. Bryant Siemens comes down from third. Everyone else moves up 90 feet on the single by Waters, and Bulldogs continue this line marching. Talking to head coach John Hafley, kind of ball they like to play. Just keep the line moving. As a team batting .340 on the year, never know who's going to come up with a big hit. First pitch now to Ty Mosier. Right fielder stands in there in the right-handed batter's box. Watches this one go way far outside. Ball 1. 1-0 pitch, swing, and a tip. Barely got a hold of that one. It did Mosier. Hafley now at third. Shale at second. Waters at first base for the Bulldogs. Marysville came into this contest 10-13, facing 20-4 Wichita Trinity Academy. No one really gave him a chance here, trying to make some noise, but here's a ground ball. Second baseman was second for 1. Will not get 2 on the fielder's choice for Mosier. Another run will come down to score, though, as Hafley will cross home plate safely, make it a 4-run ball game now, 6-2. Knights still lead Bulldogs. RBI for Mosier on that one as he does reach first. Waters Bogers out at second. Shale will move up to third. So runners on the corners now. One out here, only for Marysville. 7-hole hitter, Jacob Meyer, first baseman now in there. Picked off, though, at second. We've got a pickle in between first and second, but a balk is going to be called. So Mosier went off for second, drew a balk from Sims, and just like that, Marysville's cut this lead down to 3, cut it in half, 6-3, still only one out. So Shale will come down to score a run on the balk. See that more often than you think in high school baseball. Good job of base running, though, again, by Ty Mosier over there at first base. He took off well in advance before the pitcher was even set. Pitcher not reacting, you just kind of step off awkwardly. Drew a balk, and, of course, with a runner on third base, that will bring home a run. So the 2 walks and the hit by pitch all come around to score for Marysville that led off this inning, and all of a sudden it's a tighter ball game than I think we had about 30 minutes ago. 6-3 is our score. Marysville still with one out, and out to bat, Jacob Meyer still swings through that one, though, as Meyer is down in the count 1-2. Strikeout number 1 for Sims, and out number 2 for Marysville. Golden opportunity, though, here still to cut this down to a 2-run lead and see what can happen in the late innings. Dakota Slupionic, who started off this contest, was your starting pitcher for the Bulldogs, lasted a third of an inning, comes in now as your 8-hole hitter. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the third. First pitch is going to be well outside. Ahead in this count is Dakota. Ty Haggard will be your man on deck. Owns the first hit for the Bulldogs so far here in this one. Slupionic watches the second one go by. 1-1 is the count. Haggard still owns the only hit for the Bulldogs so far here today. And now they gave him one earlier. There's going to be a high foul pop down on the first base side. Down on the count now 1-2 is Slupionic. Runner at second is Ty Mosier. 3 runs on 1 hit here in the inning for the Bulldogs. Cut this down to 6-3. Outside is going to be the pitch call. Slupionic 1 to go for that one, but good eye from the junior not to go after it. 2-2 is your count. Runner on second, 2 outs. There's another one outside. Throw down to third. He's going to be safe at third on the stolen base. That was awfully close from Ty Mosier. He's going to move up 90 feet on the ball. Head coach for the Knights, Josh Robertson, is going to come out and argue. From my vantage point up here behind the first base, I thought it was awfully close, awfully risky pitch to run on two as well. A 2-2 pitch takes off for third. It will be Marysville's first steal of the game nonetheless, as they now have a run within 90 feet. We're going to have a meeting of the minds here. Home plate umpire and second base umpire get together in front. Josh Robertson is still looking for an explanation from home plate umpire. This isn't college or MLB. We don't have any official reviews, so we're going to have to go with the call on the field. So it's going to be runner at third in Ty Mosier. At the plate, Dakota Slupionic, full count. 3-2. 2 outs. Marysville's cut this deficit down 6-3. Slupionic already 1 strikeout, trying to put a ball in play here. Here's the pitch. That's going to be down and inside for a ball. Slupionic will make the trek up to first base. Only the second walk issued by Wichita Trinity Academy here in this contest, as this top of the fourth is starting to get very interesting. Catcher's going to go out and talk to pitcher here, just get a little bit of confidence, as now upcoming for the Bulldogs will be Ty Haggard. Haggard ripped one down in between second and third for his first hit of the game, the only hit of the game for the Bulldogs so far, as they couldn't turn that run into anything. Haggard was left stranded at first at the bottom of the last inning. But now here an opportunity to pitch in even more. Runners at the corners now. freshman, big opportunity here. One of the young players that we've talked about, big group of sophomores and freshmen for this Marysville squad. Of course, senior led with 3 of them. Here's a swing right back up to the pitcher. That pitch was a little bit inside. Pitcher's going to take a long time, but eventually throw out Haggard. So on the first pitch, Ty Haggard goes after it. It's going to be 1-3 ground out. But Marysville does put up 3 runs on 1 hit. 2 men left on base. No errors in the field there for Wichita Trinity Academy as the Bulldogs cut this lead down in half. It is now 6-3 going into the bottom of the 4th. We're going to take one last break. We'll hear from our sponsors, including Reflections Hallmark, First Commerce Bank, Blue Valley Insurance, and Tents Disposal, and get you back to 3A baseball right after this.
When you rollers send for Schroller.
For complete body repair, see Jeff at Schroller Collision Center. A family business for several generations, let Jeff and his quality crew help you with your auto needs. Schroller Collision Center, 701 Carolina, 562-3546.
Bryant Siemens back on the mound for the Bulldogs here, now pitching out of a 3-run deficit instead of a 6-run deficit. If you're just joining us, Wichita Trinity Academy coming to this 3A tournament as the top seed here, 20-4 on the season. Back-to-back losses in regional championship games to eventual champions Wichita Collegiate the last 2 years, but putting those 2 years worth of frustrations out on the Bulldogs here today as the Knights jumped out to a 3-0 lead at the bottom of the first inning. It was the walks, though, that really hurt the Bulldogs. 5 walks allowed in that first, ended up in 3 runs. Still left 3 on base, though. Wichita put up 2 more in the second, 1 more in the third, but Marysville just answered with a nice top of the 4th inning. Started off with 2 walks and a hit by pitch, all who came around to score from Bryant Siemens, Grant Hafley, and Alex Shale, respectively, came around for those 3 runs for the Bulldogs. But the bottom of the order, strikeout by Jacob Meyer, and ended out with a ground out by Ty Haggard. Still holds the only hit for the Bulldogs here in this contest, but Marysville couldn't tack on anymore as they left 2 on base, but cut this deficit down to 3 in opening round action of 3A baseball. First time since 2006 the Bulldogs have been here, knocking off a little rust under third-year head coach John Hafley. Took a few innings to get settled in, but so far Bulldogs have kind of closed down this night's offense. Just on cue, though, pulling out a walk will be Matthew Olmstead, the third baseman. Officially was 1 for 1 before that. That's going to be his second walk already here today, as walk number 8 issued by this Bulldogs pitching staff. 6-hole hitter Ethan Ebert now up to bat was just your pitcher. Now I believe went back over to first base. He's going to watch a first pitch strike come right down the heart of the plate for Siemens. Neppert officially here, for one walk and a sacrifice RBI in the first inning. Runner on first is third baseman as the bottom of this night's order looks to get back those 3 runs Marysville was just able to pick up. Good strike there, though, by Bryant Siemens on the outside edge. It is now advantage pitcher 0-2. Lefty on righty matchup. Looking down the first baseline is Siemens. Siemens brings it home. That's going to be way outside. Didn't have a chance with that one. Wild pitch number 6 now for the Bulldogs. And just probably slipped out of the hand a little wrong. Catcher Grant Hafley didn't even get up for that one. So runner advances 90 feet now. Runner at second on the wild pitch. 1-2 is your count. Marysville looking to keep this deficit right here at 3 as we play bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the swing drive right side in between first and second baseman. Wide open, going home. No, we're going to stay at third is Olmstead. So a single there by Ebert as the Knights are back in action here. Runners on the corners now for your 6-hole hitter, Joaquin Sanchez, right fielder. Wearing number 12 will step into the batter's box now, deep and tight on that right side. Siemens comes set with the 0-0 pitch. That one's going to be down and inside. 1-0. Finding the strike zone has been the issue for the Bulldog pitching staff so far here today. Of course, Wichita Collegiate as a team hit on it earlier. They're batting over 300 as a team. As a pitching staff, you have to be aggressive, and Marysville was not early on. Allowed those before-mentioned 5 walks, 3 runs in the first inning, and just haven't been able to find a way to claw back here so far. They did just put up 3 in the top of the 4th inning, but still trail this one 6-3 bottom of the 4th. First round action of 3A state baseball from Taunton Family Stadium here in Manhattan. Max Blasky along with you here today, this afternoon, as we're just past 12:20 on KNDY FM 95.5. Bringing you live baseball coverage. Second week of state/regional baseball coverage. Had the Frankfort Centralia boys last week. Of course, congratulations to the Onega girls making a trip in their first year as a squad to state today, too, as well. 3-2 count now on Sanchez. Everett did still second there a moment ago, still number 3 for the Knights. Runners at second and third, no outs. 3-2 pitch going to be way outside for Sanchez, and the problem continues with this Marysville pitching staff. Consistency on the strike zone as now bases will be loaded for Kyler Moore, who's officially 0 for 1, but does have himself a walk in the first inning, got stranded at first. Came around, struck out there in the bottom of the third, too, as well. But now golden opportunity to blow this one back open. Here's a pop, though. Second baseman, Dakota Slubionic, will clutch that one. First out for the Bulldogs is a big one. Pop out number 4 on the first pitch there for Siemens. And now will come up 9-hole hitter Nolan Wilson. Wilson 0 for 1, too, as well. Grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. Drew a walk in his second and came around to run in that one-run third inning was that single run for the Knights. Infield in here on the corners. First and second baseman in on the grass. Outfield playing fairly medium depth. Nothing too shallow. Haven't seen very many hard-hit balls here today. Don't want anything to go over your head with bases loaded, though. Marysville will trade it out for a run here. 9-hole hitter watches that one goes by. Knotted up now to count 1-1. Wilson takes a step out of the bat. Bryant Siemens comes back set. Lefty brings it in on the 1-1 count. That one's swung and a miss. Ahead in the count now, 1-2 is Siemens. Attack that strike zone. Marysville still trails 6-3 here, though. Bottom of the 4th, Wichita Trinity Academy threatening with bases loaded. Swing, drive, past Siemens up the middle. Second bobbled by the shortstop, and everyone will be safe. Tough play over there in the hot corner by freshman Keegan Waters. Kind of gives himself a little, gosh darn it, should have had that one. Sophomore Keegan Waters, but nothing he could have done as that was a hot shot to him. Everyone's going to be safe, and a single will be allowed. A run comes home as Trinity Academy looks to answer back. Marysville's third in the top of this inning. Back to the top of the order, Braden Roberts watches strike 1 go by. Roberts officially 0 for 2. A ground out, a strikeout, does have a walk and a run scored in the second inning. Infield still close there on the corners. Second pitch fouled off now. Siemens ahead in this count 0-2. Oh, 2 count here from the lefty, trying to get out of this bases loaded jam. 1 out here, bottom of the 4th, grounded right into the Marysville first base dugout. Hot shot there off the bat of the righty Roberts. Roberts also had a stolen base early in this contest. 18 for 18 on the base pass for the junior this year. 0-2 count. That's going to be down and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The leadoff hitter for the Knights. Bryant Siemens on the mound for the Bulldogs, has been here since the 3rd inning. Brings this one home. That's high and outside. 2-2 is the count. Siemens gave up a run and then a single to start off this half inning, followed by a walk, had bases loaded before he got a pop out, but a moment ago, a single by 9-hole hitter Nolan Wilson. Got a run across for the Knights, but here's a big strikeout and a swing and a miss on the 2-2 count from Braden Roberts. Gets leadoff hitter down for the Knights, and now Siemens has to deal with Jackson Witt. 2-hole hitter here today, officially 1 for 2. Had a walk and a run scored in the first, struck out in the second, had a single and an RBI in the third. Now here with bases loaded, we'll take a first pitch ball. Marysville scores 3 in the top of this 4th inning. Wichita already here with 1 across in the bottom. Swing and a miss there as Siemens got with a little wild on that high and outside pitch. 1-1 count now. 7-3 is your score. Marysville finally got 3 runs top of this inning, but here's Wichita. There's a line down in front of the right fielder. Witt comes through. 1 run scores. Past the right fielder as it gets away from him. Witt all the way to second. 2 runs are in. 3 runs are in on the 3 RBI double for Jackson Witt. As Wichita Collegiate continues to, Trinity Academy pours it on here after Marysville comes up with 3 runs in the top of this inning. The Knights have put up 4 here in the bottom of the 4th. A tough break out there in the outfield, too. Believe that's still Ty Mosier out there. Tough to see numbers from up here as Marysville shifted their outfield around. Mosier had it in front of him, then took a weird little bounce on that AstroTurf, got past him, allowed that other run to score, and now all of a sudden what was a 3-run game is right back to a 7-run lead for the Knights here in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch to 3-hole hitter Josiah Sims. Standing in their left-handed batter's box was a ball. Second pitch will be a called strike. 1-1 now, evens up your count here. Marysville trailed 6-0 going into the top of the 4th inning moments ago, put up 3, thought they had an opportunity to get back in this contest, which saw already with 4 here. This one's a drive in between the center fielder and left fielder. Sims drives it all the way to the wall. Sims on his horse. He is in with a stand-up triple. RBI for Josiah Sims on back-to-back hits now for Trinity Academy as he drives in the 11th run of this contest for the Knights. That is an RBI triple here in the bottom of the 4th, as now the Knights have put up 5 runs after Marysville got 3 in the top of this inning. And really, to be expected, game of baseball, one team gets hot, sometimes it bleeds over. But what really has put Marysville behind the 8 ball so far here today was that first inning. They allowed 8 walks, 3 runs to come along. It could have been worse as they left the bases loaded. But ever since then, Marysville has been fighting from behind. And when you're facing a pitching staff such as Trinity Academy that has a team ERA just north of 2, it's tough to come back in any contest. Here's going to be a soft liner. Third baseman through the hole, and another one scores. Josiah Sims comes through with the run. That's going to be an RBI for Jack Carey. RBI single for the man that started this contest on the mound for the Knights. Continues to pour it on here as Trinity Academy has put up a 6th spot here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Turn the batting over. Matthew Olmsted, third baseman, led off this inning with a walk, came around to score a run, and now he here stands with a runner on first and Jack Carey. Watches the first one go by. That is going to be a called strike from the home plate umpire. Jordan Miller came into this contest for relief of Dakota Slupionic after a third of innings pitch. Miller lasted himself an inning and a third. Now on the mound for the Bulldogs, it has been Bryant Siemens since the third inning. And it looks like going out to the bullpen to get warmed up, we're either going to see Cabot Bogart. I believe that's who we are going to see. Cabot Bogart heading out there to the bullpen for the Bulldogs. Going to get warmed up, try and keep this contest right where it is. See if Marysville can't put up some runs here in the top of the fifth inning when they come back to bat. Ahead of this count, though, 1-2 on Olmsted. Seaman brings set. Runner at second is Jack Carey as he stole on that last pitch. Siemens will step off the mag, though. Take a peek over that way. No action so far. Trinity Academy has put up 6 here in this bottom of the fourth. Siemens ends up getting the strikeout, though, but damage has been done as the Knights put up 6 runs on 4 hits, 1 man left on base, no errors out in the field. And Wichita Trinity Academy blows this one open 12-3 at the bottom of the fourth inning. When we come back, top of the fifth inning, last chance for romance for the Bulldogs. We'll see if the bats can't get going.
Papa Dave's Veggies are coming to the Farmers Market in Marysville Saturday mornings. Dave Bruna has some bedding plants still available at the greenhouse at 5th and Alston, and some early season garden produce is starting to come in and will include spinach, radish, strawberries, and more. Stop by the garden on North 6th or at the Marysville Farmers Market downtown Saturday mornings throughout the spring and summer months, or call Dave Bruna at 562-6341.
Kickafer and Bussing, certified public accountants in Marysville and now in Seneca, are qualified and available to assist you with all of your income tax and accounting needs. Stop by and visit Ken Kickafer, Kent Bussing, or their staff of certified public accountants and paraprofessionals. For prompt and friendly service, contact Kickafer and Bussing at their 2 locations, 1100 Broadway in Marysville at 562-2100 or 508 Main Street in Seneca at 336-2400 to set up an appointment. Kickafer and Bussing, where quality begins.
Max Blasky back with you here from Taunton Family Stadium, campus of the K-State Wildcats down in Manhattan. His first round action of 3A baseball is on your airwaves. Marysville trails this one 12-3. They just gave up 6 runs in the bottom of the fourth after cutting the deficit in half in the top of the inning with 3 runs themselves. Josiah Sims will be back on the mound for the Knights here. And with a 9-run lead, this might be the last chance for the Bulldogs. Over in our sister station, AM 1570 FM and 94.1, the Marysville softball season does come to an end. A 3-0 loss to Holcomb in first-round action of 3A state softball. Bruce Deerking had that call. The Marysville girls in their season. What an excellent run both of these squads had here in the spring. No fault of their own, but I think 2 teams that if you ask people throughout the state, will they be in a state tournament this year, probably would have said no, but playing at the right time, both teams ran through their regionals, picking up wins. Unfortunately, the girls' season ends with a 3-0 loss to Holcomb. Meanwhile, Marysville boys here trailing 12-3 in the the top of the fifth inning. It is going to be a swing and a strikeout for leadoff hitter here, Jordan Miller, but I believe they're going to give him they're going to call him out because of interference. So first out will be a strikeout for Seams, and now it will be left-handed hitting Bryant Siemens up to the bag here. Just to finish that thought, this Marysville baseball team especially will be extremely exciting to watch next year. We mentioned it in the opener and throughout the contest. A young team, Grant Hafley, Alex Sheo, Keegan Warders, Ty Mosier, all sophomores, freshman Ty Haggard, Bo Busman, junior class 2 as well, including Jacob Meyer, Brock Cromie and Jordan Miller. And, of course, the senior class this year, Donald Edmonds, Cabot Bogert, and Bryant Siemens, a team that only won one game 2 years ago, 1-16, gets to a state tournament this year. Siemens grounds out to the third baseman. It is going to be a 5-3 on the scorecard, and now will up come three-hole hitter and catcher Grant Hafley. Hafley so far in this one, 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat, drew a walk in his second one, and came around to score. His was the second of 2 walks in the fourth inning. Marysville ended up putting up 3 runs in that inning. Hafley, Siemens, and Shale all came around to score. But then a 6-run spot put up by the Knights in the bottom of the fourth inning has us where we set now, 12-3. 2-1 count's going to be fouled off to the right side over the first base dugout. Good cheer there from the crowd as a young Marysville fan up there in the stands. Nice little snag there, a little souvenir. 2-2 count here for Hafley. 2 outs, top of the fifth inning. Seams come set. It's going to be popped up, shallow right field. Second baseman comes out, and that is the catch, and that will be your ball game. Or excuse me, no. We got one more. We got one more to go here before we go. Got to get my scores right. So Marysville though pops out to the second baseman and goes 1-2-3. Does Grant Hafley in the fifth inning. No runs, no hits, no men left on field, no errors out in the field in that top of the fifth. As we go to the bottom, Trinity Academy leads this one 12-3.
Get ready to roll into another season and save big on reliable New Holland Workmaster and Boomer compact tractors. From KNDY, get 0% financing for up to 84 months. With either model, you'll enjoy efficient power and an easy-to-operate package that lets you tame a weekend full of jobs. Roll into KNDY in Marysville for all the details. Offer ends June 30th.
For commercial use only, customer participation subject to credit qualification and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required.
Have you ever wondered what sets Sunflower Community Credit Union apart from the rest? It's the power of ownership. When you join Sunflower Community Credit Union, you're not just a customer. You're a member and an owner. Sunflower Community Credit Union is a member-owned, nonprofit financial institution that places our members' needs as our top priority. We're here to help you grow your savings, manage your finances, and achieve your dreams. Visit Sunflower Community Credit Union in Marysville, where ownership matters.
Max Blasky back with you here as 3A Baseball on your airways, FM 95.5. Be sure and download that free KNDY mobile app, too, as well. Made it easier for everyone this summer. You can seamlessly switch between our stations with just one app, so no need for an AM or an FM app anymore. If you download the free KNDY app, can go from right here over to our sister station, AM 1570, FM 94.1, depending on what you're wanting to listen to. So download that going into the summer, and of course into the fall season. Keep up with everything TVL sports related to right here on KNDY FM 95.5. So we'll start our regional contest coming up there late August, as before we know it, it will be football season yet again in north central northeast Kansas. 1-1 pitch here now to Ethan Ephart, right-handed batter in there. Bryant Siemens still on the mound for the Bulldogs. Marysville trailing by 9 here in the bottom of the fifth inning. I think my run rule is correct. 10 after 5 is the rule. So we'll see what happens here. Marysville still with a chance, though. They were trailing 6-0 going into the top of the fourth inning before a 3-run inning by the Bulldogs cut the deficit to within 3, but then a 6-run spot by Trinity Academy in the bottom of that inning blew it right back open to where we sit now, 12-3. 2-2 count here for Ephart. Ephart is officially 1 for 2 here so far today with a sack RBI in the first inning, took a walk there in the second, and then got himself a single in the fourth, and is going to answer here with a single in the fifth, too, as well, as he's going to lead it off for the Knights. Drove shortstop Keegan Waters back just a little bit too far. Not able to make the pitch across the diamond to record the out. So on the first batter of the game, Ryan Siemens allows a single to the left side, and that will put a runner aboard now at first for six-hole hitter Joaquin Sanchez, the right fielder. Comes into this game officially 0 for 1, but does have 2 walks and a run scored. All the way around to second there in the first. Ground out to the pitcher in the second. It came around to score in that big 6-run fourth inning. Head coach John Hafley going back out there, going to chat with the home plate umpire, and I think we are going to see a pitching change. As for the last time for this year, senior Bryant Siemens will step across that first baseline chalk. Or no, actually he will not. The Siemens was making his way over to the first base side, kind of snuck everyone out there. As we are going to have a clearing of the benches for the Marysville Bulldogs. Everyone out of their spots now, out to the outfielder. Bo Busman will head out that way, along with Brock Cromie out to the outfield. Ty Mosier also out that way, too, as well. Siemens will move back to first base. Dakota Slupionic will stay at second. In now for pitching, Cabot Bogert. Senior will get an opportunity here to throw some pitches in a state tournament game, something that I'm sure a couple years ago this senior class, especially for Marysville, didn't think was possible. Before mentioned, they went 1-16 2 years ago. This team, though, trending up, was 6-13. Was reading the article today. The goal for this squad was to win a playoff game and to win more games than they did last year. Well, they came into this state tournament accomplishing both of those goals. This Marysville team 10-13 on the year. They were able to win not just one but 3 playoff games in the regional action to make this unheralded run to a state tournament run. The first time since 2006 the Bulldogs have been on state tournament ground, but they just ran into an excellent Wichita Trinity Academy team here today. The Knights jumped out to a 3-0 lead at the first inning, put up 2 in the second, 3 in the third. A little hope of life, though, for Marysville in the top of the fourth innings as back-to-back walks to lead off the inning, followed by a hit batter, led the Bulldogs with bases loaded. All 3 of those runners came around to score in what was a 3-run top of the fourth. At the time, it cut the deficit in half for the Bulldogs, gave their offense a little hope going into the next inning, but Trinity Academy answered quickly back with 6 runs in the bottom of the fourth in what seemed to be an inning that could not stop soon enough for the Bulldogs. Cabot Bogert now on the mound for Marysville. Righty brings it home. Here's going to be a bunt, bunted foul right in front of home plate. Joaquin Sanchez now down in the count 0-1. Officially 0 for 1 here today with 2 walks, a run scored, a ground out to his name for the 6-hole hitter. Runner on first is Ethan Ebhart. Reached on a single moments ago before the switching change. Everyone out of the dugout for the Bulldogs here today. Apologies, I can't see numbers to tell you who's all out there. Now out in the outfielder, Bo Busman out there. Cabot Bogert now on the pitching mound. Ty Mosier also out in the outfield, along with Jacob Myers. For the last chance for these Bulldogs here, get an opportunity to play on the turf. Fun chance here. Steal, though, by Everett as he'll move up 90 feet. Bad throw there from catcher Hafley. Put a runner in scoring position here with no outs. And a 2-2 count coming here for Sanchez. Mentioned it before, though, but expectations will be high for this young Marysville team next year. Bulk of their lineup will return. Besides, before I mentioned that Siemens, Bogart gets his money's worth out of the bullpen, clips there Sanchez on the backside. Second hit by pitch by the Marysville squad this year. But expectations will be high in what, again, is a tough conference for the Bulldogs. Looking at the record and talking to head coach John Hafley, 10-13 going into this contest, but a lot of high-quality opponents Marysville faced this year, including an Abilene team that is at 4A state. Of course, the Blue Jays, they are your third seed here in 3A state, and 4A Clay Center had an excellent year. 4A Concordia, who had a plus 500 season too as well. So a lot of high-quality opponents that the Marysville Bulldogs face in the middle of the season, a part of the season in which they lost 6 straight, and actually they lost 13 out of 12 games at one point, did the Bulldogs. But experience and learning curves or learning opportunities is what head coach Hafley called those when I was able to chat with him earlier this week. So expectations will be high for the Bulldogs coming back next year. A good group on the coaching staff and looking hopefully to make another run at a state tournament down here. That will be a strikeout for Cabot Bogart. The senior picks up a K here on Kyler Moore. Good strikeout there. Got Moore looking. Only the third strikeout by Trinity Academy here today. That one's going to hit Nolan Wilson. First pitch of the at bat. Will clunk Wilson on the left shoulder. That'll send bases loaded now back to the top of the order as Braden Roberts will have an opportunity to send this one home for the Knights. Just mentioned a little bit earlier, too, today, Marysville softball falls to Holcomb 3-0, ending their season on what was an incredible run by the softball girls, too, as well. We do want to give a shout-out to all of our sponsors here today, making this broadcast possible and throughout the entire season long, including the Edens Automotive, State Farm Insurance, Stroller Collision, and Kiekefer and Bussing. This ball is going to be down in between first and second base, and it will be a hit RBI for Braden Roberts here, top of the fifth, and there it is. 13 is your final here, 13-3 as Marysville falls in 3A state opening action to Wichita Trinity Academy. We're going to take one more time out, bring you a recap of this contest. Again, Marysville falls in opening round action of 3A state, 13-3 to top-seeded Wichita Trinity Academy. We'll be back after this.
The supplies you choose when replacing or rebuilding after a storm matter just as much as who you call to do the job. Hometown Lumber in Marysville and Axtell Lumber carry the highest quality building materials when you need them. From shingles to storm doors, roofing and siding, paint and lawn to finish the job, and always ready for pickup. Save time, save money, save worry after the storm. From start to finish, all in one stop, visit Hometown Lumber in Marysville or Axtell Lumber today.
Hop in, let's go to Honeyman Ford in Seneca, the best place to be.
Skip the drive. Come see us right here in Marysville, Kansas. At Honeyman Auto Sales and Service, you will find the same honest sales experience backed by the same reliable service. With the same goals in mind, our Marysville location is sure to provide you with a satisfying vehicle experience. Find us on Facebook or stop in at 1122 Pony Express Highway today.
Have you driven a Honeyman Ford lately?
Hey, farmers and ranchers, ready for planting season? Need a fuel buddy who's got your back? Kramer Oil is here for you. From Marysville to Jamestown, Longford, and everywhere in between, our 13 cardlock locations keep you running smooth from sunup to sundown. Say goodbye to running on empty during planting. With Kramer Oil, you get reliable fuel services that fit just right with your farm's needs. Kramer Oil, powering your farm's success, your go-to for fuel in Kansas and Nebraska.
Max Blasky back with you here from Taunton Family Stadium in 3A State Baseball as Marysville falls in opening round action to top-seeded Wichita Trinity Academy 13-3 here on a lovely Thursday afternoon. Marysville ends their season 10-14 after many called an improbable run at regionals last week. Nothing to take away from the boys on a squad that is young and hungry next year. So be careful for Marysville in 3A next year when next spring rolls around. Give you a game rundown here today. It was Wichita Trinity Academy early and often. They jumped up 3-0 at the end of the first inning, thanks in part to 5 walks allowed by the Marysville pitching staff. First run of the game was a walked-in run, and Trinity Academy kept it going from there. They put up a 2-spot in the second, 1 more in the third. It was the top of the fourth when the Marysville Bulldogs had a little life. They scored 3 runs on 1 hit, 3 walks drawn, and cut the deficit down to 6-3, thinking that Bryant Siemens out on the mound could keep the deficit where it was. He could not, as Wichita Trinity Academy blew it open with 6 runs in the bottom of the fourth to make it 12-3. And then in the bottom of the fifth, a single by Braden Roberts drove in the game-winning run on the run rule of 10. Final score, again, 13-3 here as Marysville falls in round 1 action of the 3A state tournament. We got to take one more time out. Hear a word from our sponsors, including KNDY, Sunflower Community Credit Union, Hometown Lumber, Honeyman Auto, Kramer Oil, Bruna Implement, Channel Seed, and United Bank and Trust. One more time out for this spring season. We'll bring it right back here for final thoughts, final wrap-ups as Marysville finishes the baseball season 10-14.
Just like our area athletes work each day in practice to perform at their best in the big game, the staff at Bruna Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer, work daily to provide the best parts and service experience when you need it most. Bruna Implement Company has been family-owned for 3 generations. We know what it takes to be successful as your area Case IH dealer. For the best in farming equipment with the service to back it, there is only one. Bruna Implement Company, since 1947.
Anyone can sell you soybean seed. Channel Seedsman place product to perform. With Channel XtendFlex soybeans and Channel Roundup Ready 2 Extend soybeans, you'll get the superior weed control you want and the high yield potential you need. Make the most of next season with the Roundup Ready Extend crop system and expert recommendations from Channel Seedsman. Ask a seedsman in your area for recommendations for your fields. Check with your state pesticide regulatory agency for specific restrictions in your state. Always read and follow pesticide label directions.
With United Bank and Trust online banking, you have access to your hometown bank 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year at ubankonline.com. You can view account balances, access statements, and transfer money between your UBT accounts. You can also view account activity, pay bills, and even make loan payments without being limited by banking hours. Simply visit ubankonline.com to learn more. Online banking with United Bank and Trust. It's banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Max Blasky back with you here from Taunton Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas, home of the K-State Wildcats, where Marysville falls in round 1 action of 3A state, 13-3 to top-seeded Wichita Trinity Academy. A team that lost the last 2 years to Wichita Colgate in their regional championship. Respectfully, Colgate went on to win the championship last 2 years. The experience showed for the Knights here today as they jumped out to a 3-0 lead at the end of the first inning, and it never looked back. Boat raced Marysville to a 13-3 win here in 5 innings, moves on to second-round action coming up here later on this afternoon right here at K-State. That's going to wind down our broadcast here today. We thank you all for tuning in. course, if you're checking for the new news block, you can swing on over to our sister station, AM 1570, FM 94.1. We'll join it here in progress for the last 5 minutes before the top of the hour here on KNDY Radio FM at 95.5. I said it last week after we talked Frankfort Centralia baseball, but I believe this week will be done. We will have state track reports coming up next week, as that will be this Saturday down in Wichita with all the local athletes competing in that. So stay tuned next week to see how that goes. And, of course, any other sports activities that come up, stay tuned to KNDY Radio to stay safe and informed all season long. We'll be back on it next fall for football action, the Bulldogs and regional action once high school football season rolls around. But as for today, signing off for one last time this spring, in Marysville falls to Wichita Trinity Academy in open year-round action of the 3A state baseball tournament 13-3. Marysville girls also in their season with a 3-0 loss in softball to Holcomb over at Topeka. Max Blasky signing off today. Marysville boys in their season 10-14. Look to bounce back next year. Use this experience to make another run at 3A. For KNDY Radio, thank you all for tuning in. We thank all the Marysville sports boosters, too, as well, all season long to make these broadcasts possible. Signing off on this Thursday afternoon, thank you all for tuning in. Please drive home safe if you are going everywhere. And if not, we'll see you right back here next time on KNDY.
KNDY.